Can you see the slides now and the changes of the slides?
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
good.
okay. Sorry, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I will start to give my presentation. I'm Haoning Xi, a PhD candidate at UNSW and Data 610. I'm glad to introduce our research incentive compatible mechanisms for continuous resource allocation in mobility as a service, pay as you go and pay as a package. I will introduce from the following 7 sections. Let's start from introduction. In recent years, the rapid evolution of the digital and sharing economy has brought significant changes in how various services are provided. Everything as a service, such as computing as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, is revolutionizing traditional models. In this context, the transport sector is experiencing a vast revolution brought by the mobility as a service concept. We highlight the service nature and MaaS and the nature of service nature of MaaS and propose an innovative MaaS paradigm defined as following. Mobility as a service is an innovative paradigm in which continuous and unified mobility resources integrated from both public and private multimodal transportation providers can be efficiently and effectively allocated to travelers based um, based on their preference and willingness to pay through a single payment on a digital platform. The main characters of MaaS reported in the literature can be summarized as follows: integration of modes, customized subscription, digital platform, on-demand payment options, including pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package, operation mode, and multi-actors. MaaS will shift from the current output-based form to outcome-based models, thereby become mode agnostic. Researchers showed the potential of pay-as-a-package, also called as mobility package, in attracting more travelers to the shared modes and public transit, but it's not more attractive due to its higher price. We should focus on purchasing mobility services based on consumer needs rather than purchase different transport modes. Most of the existing MaaS paradigms are based on the traditional segmentation of travel modes, such as private vehicle, public transit, and shared mobility. In the context of everything as a service, service providers have evolved from product-based models towards less segmented representation in which resources are priced in a continuous fashion. However, such continuous resource allocation formulations are inexistent for MaaS systems. And thus we attempt to address this research gap by introducing innovative MaaS mechanisms that allocate mobility resources to users without any form of travel mode segmentation. Our aims and major contributions. We propose a new and alternative representation for MaaS. We design incentive pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package mechanisms based on the online auctions and formulate mixed integer and linear optimization formulations to allocate mobility resources to user requests so as to maximize social welfare. We develop pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package online algorithms for the proposed online formulations and derive guaranteed optimality bounds of the proposed online algorithms. We design a rolling horizon framework to consider booking flexibility and improve solution quality of the MaaS online mechanisms. We propose 2 MaaS mechanisms, pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package, which allow travelers to either pay for the immediate use of mobility services or to subscribe to mobility service packages for a more protracted usage. Both MaaS mechanisms are based on mixed integer or linear programming formulations designed to maximize social welfare in the transport system. We develop efficient online primal-dual algorithms to implement the proposed MaaS mechanisms and derive theoretical bounds on worst-case performance of these algorithms. Moreover, we design a rolling horizon framework. Problem setting. The mobility resources can be allocated to travelers in forms of the bundle plan, which is the combination of travel time served by different modes, such as taxi, ride sharing, bus, metro, and bicycle sharing. In analogy to a commodity, the quantity of a mobility service is described by the traveling distance, and the quality is described by the speed and inconvenience degrees. We depict two examples here. On the pay-as-you-go option, a traveler can request for such as a 10-kilometer service with a speed of 12.2, 30, and 15.9 kilometer per hour. And the bundle plan arranged can be such as 10-minute ride sharing plus 39-minute bus. Under pay-as-you-go option, only one bundle plan, such as Plan C, can be allocated to the traveler. Under pay-as-a-package option, a traveler can buy a mobility package for longer use, such as a weekly plan or monthly plan. If a traveler submits 3 bids for a 70-kilometer mobility package, the 3 bids can be allocated with the corresponding fractions such as 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2. The arranged mobility package bundle plan permits a traveler use the following modes within 1 week. To enable this MaaS paradigm to address the proposed optimization problem, we make the following assumptions. Autonomous transport system, mass market on the government contracting, MaaS system with given capacity and without congestion. The average speed of different modes is not the driving speed, but takes into potential service delays, such as commercial speed. The participators of the proposed online auction include transportation service providers, a MaaS operator, and travelers. A traveler can buy any quantity of mobility service with the required quantity according to his preference instead of investing in buy private vehicles. The online auction procedure. Step 1, travelers submit bidding language with either pay-as-you-go or pay-as-a-package option. In step 2, if the mobility resources are deficient, the MaaS operator sorts travelers by decreasing unit bidding price and determines the participators of the auction. Step 3, if all of traveler I's unit bidding price are smaller than the unit price at time slot T, and then all of traveler I's bids will be rejected. Otherwise, one of traveler I's bids will be accepted. Step 4, in a pay-as-you-go mechanism, a successful bidder can get a bundle plan corresponding to the bid that can maximize his or her utility. In a pay-as-a-package mechanism, a successful bidder can get a package bundle plan based on the allocated fraction of each bid. And then payment is charged according to the time-varying payment rules. Step 5, update the occupied mobility resources. In section 3, I will introduce pay-as-you-go mechanism. We focus on the MaaS operator on the government contracting and thus establish an optimization problem with objective function of maximizing social welfare. The social welfare here denotes the sum of utility of both travelers and transportation service providers constrained 1B to 1D, guarantee that the bundle plan corresponding to traveler I speed J should satisfy the distance, travel time, and inconvenience requirement. 1E indicates that winner determination rule, and 1F restricts that the requested mobility resources should not exceed available resources at time T. 1G guarantees that at most 1 bid will be allocated to a traveler. Then model 1 can be reformulated as a compact integer program given in lemma 1 by defining the compact set of traveler I's bundle plans. Then we consider each traveler I's utility under truthful and non-truthful case and prove the incentive compatibility of the proposed online mechanism. We tailor a heuristic online primal-dual algorithm for the proposed pay-as-you-go mechanism. The relaxed linear program obtained in lemma 1 and its dual problem are summarized as follows. Here, Q and mu I, UI is the dual variable corresponding to the two constraints in the primal problem and can be interpreted as a unit price at time slot T and traveler I's utility. In algorithm 1, Line 1 to line 7 are based on the online auction process. Line 11 to 22 show the iterations of primal variables, dual variables, and available resources at time slot t. Moreover, the proposed online algorithm is proved to run in polynomial time. Then we show the relationship between change in optimal value of dual problem and the primal problem in each iteration in lemma 3, and prove that the proposed online algorithm can guarantee both primal and dual feasible solutions in lemma 4. The online algorithm is executed on arriving of travelers at each time slot. However, the unpredictable travel demand at different time slots will cause the inefficiency in allocating mobility resources and optimizing social welfare. Thus, we develop an offline model to evaluate how much loss will be brought by the online algorithm. The offline optimization model with the objective of maximizing social welfare is formulated in Model 2, which can be reformulated as a compact linear program showing lemma 5. Then we derive the competitive ratio of the proposed online algorithm against the offline model based on lemma 3 and lemma 4 introduced before. In section 4, we will introduce pay as a package mechanism. Due to the time limits, I will introduce this part very roughly. If you are interested in this part, please check our paper for more details. In this section, we present the pay as a package mechanism, which targets mobility packages that can be purchased in fractional amounts. We formulate the online social welfare maximization problem for pay as a package mechanism as a linear program. And similarly, it can be reformulated as a compact linear problem, showing lemma 6. According to the complementary slacklers of primal-dual problem, pay as a package online mechanism is proved to be incentive compatible. We tailor a heuristic primal-dual online algorithm for pay as a package mechanism, which runs in polynomial time. We give the derived competitive ratio of pay as a package online algorithm in theorem 4 based on lemma 8 and lemma 9, and then give a corollary. When the ratio of Qi to 80 tends to be 0, and then the competitive ratio of pay-as-you-go online algorithm is equivalent to the competitive ratio of pay as a package online algorithm. Further, we propose a rolling horizon framework where delta t denotes the time step and t denotes the time horizon, reflecting travelers' booking flexibility. Next, we introduce 4 types of rolling horizon frameworks with different time step lengths and time horizon lengths. We consider 4 IHA configurations with different time step, time horizon lengths, and optimization methods. All configurations can be executed with both pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package mechanisms. Since the first 3 configurations run in online fashion, they're also referred to as online configurations. Here, single horizon algorithm, SHA, is referred to as the offline configuration and is used to benchmark the performance of the online RHA configurations. In each case, the corresponding mobility resources allocation problem can be solved either exactly using Model 2 or Model 4, or heuristically using algorithm 1 or algorithm 2. Then we conducted a series of numerical experiments to evaluate the performance of the proposed MaaS mechanisms. We conduct stochastic simulations under different auction settings in which the parameters are set as follows. Then we execute the proposed online algorithms and evaluate the performance of online mechanism by conducting sensitivity analysis on acceptance ratio under different types of unit pricing functions. It is shown that the acceptance ratio under the exponential unit pricing function is higher than others. Then we conduct the sensitivity analysis on the ratio of maximum to minimum bidding price and find that if the ratio of Bmax to Bmin is equal to 5, the value of social welfare is higher than its counterparts on all three types of unit price functions. Moreover, the social welfare in terms of time slot exceeds the similar pattern on the different types of unit pricing functions. After conducting sensitivity analysis on capacity and speed factor, it is showed that social welfare grows with the increase of capacity over all time slots, and the social welfare remains unchanged beyond a capacity of 500. The speed factor has very limited influence on social welfare and thus illustrates the reliability of the proposed MaaS system. And then we compare the social welfare on the pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package options. It is showed that the social welfare under pay-as-a-package is always higher than that under pay-as-you-go. Moreover, the unit price always exists an opposite pattern against the available resources at each time slot due to the proposed time-dependent pricing scheme. The range of unit pricing price in pay-as-a-package mechanism is lower than that unit price in pay-as-you-go mechanism. When the number of bids increase from 1 to 10, the relationship among competitive ratio theta, the number of bids J and time slot T is shown in figure. We validate the efficiency of competitive ratio by comparing the value of competitive ratio given in theorem 2 with the value of social welfare ratio obtained by online and offline algorithm. Similarly, we validate the efficiency of competitive ratio under pay-as-a-package by comparing competitive ratio given in theorem 4 with social welfare ratio. Since the value of competitive ratio always provides a lower bound for social welfare ratio, the feasibility of competitive ratio is verified. We investigate the impact of booking flexibility by comparing two types of rolling horizon configurations with same time step and different time horizon lengths, and find that setting a longer time horizon length can improve travelers' booking flexibility and balance the social welfare across peak hours and off-peak hours. Then we conducted 100 Monte Carlo simulations to compare the average value of computation time and social welfare obtained by different algorithms. It is showed that the computation time of offline algorithm is greater than that of online configurations. And the online configurations running in polynomial time is highly efficient and easy to be realized in practice. The same regulation holds under pay-as-a-package option. The social welfare obtained by the offline configurations is considerably larger than that obtained by the online configurations, among which rHA of MILP can obtain the maximum social welfare. And then we conducted a sensitivity analysis on the time step delta T of rHA using pay-as-you-go mechanism. Our findings show that when delta T increases from 10 to 200, in terms of social welfare, we have the following regulations. Conclusion and remarks. This research introduces an innovative MaaS paradigm on the two types of payment options, pay-as-you-go and pay-as-a-package. Two MaaS online mechanisms are proposed based on a dynamic auction setting. The pay-as-you-go online mechanism is formulated as a mixed integer linear program, while the package online mechanism is formulated as a linear program. Both formulations are shown to be incentive compatible. We propose polynomial time online primal-dual algorithms for both mechanisms and derive the competitive ratio of these online algorithms. The proposed MaaS paradigm is travel mode agnostic and delivers transport accessibility by allocating continuous quantity of mobility resources to travelers based on their preference. In contrast to more traditional discrete choice models, in this MaaS paradigm, travelers can purchase any quantity of mobility resources based on his or her preference. Further, the multi-bid online auction setting offers travelers the possibility to consider multiple MaaS bundles. Moreover, the proposed MaaS online mechanisms can guarantee that travelers with a higher willingness to pay can preferentially obtain a mobility service with higher quality. If you are interested in our research, please check the paper for more details. Although the proposed MaaS paradigm may provide several advantages as discussed above, many more practical issues have to be addressed before such a MaaS paradigm can be implemented in practice. At the micro level, travelers' habits and attitudes are recognized as essential factors. At a macro level, the collaboration and the responsibilities of different stakeholders in the MaaS ecosystem need to be considered. We have taken a first step towards designing an experience-relevant MaaS paradigm based on a continuous representation of mobility service. However, other complex factors in MaaS systems are not accounted for in this proposed approach, motivating future research in this direction. In particular, our current and future research focusing on the two-sided MaaS market may provide more realistic configurations for the development of emerging MaaS ecosystems. And thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Haoning. Thank you for keeping it as tight as possible. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes, Mikel, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for that presentation. There's a lot of material, very, very impressive. Thank you very much. I have a question about your social welfare that you're optimizing. Because you have a bidding system and it's based on willingness to pay, higher income people have higher willingness to pay. So during congested hours, could it be the outcome that high income people get to travel and low income people are pushed out of the peak because you did not account for equity in your model, only social welfare?
So in our model, the social welfare denotes the sum of travelers' utility to transportation service providers' utility. Here, the willingness to pay in the auction setting, as you can see here, BIJ represents the traveler I's bidding price for bid J. You can also consider this bidding price as a traveler's willingness to pay. I guess your question is about when the mobility resources are deficient, and then maybe these people with higher income who has a higher willingness to pay can get the service preferentially. And how about those people with lower income? So, is this?
Yes, that's exactly the question, because in the US there is HOT lanes where people can have no congestion against paying a toll, and they're called Lexus lanes in the US because they're considered to be for higher income people, and people find that very unfair. So could this system lead to an unfair system where only the rich people get to travel during the the attractive slots?
I think we didn't. We have not added this consideration in this stage, but I have also considered this problem as well. I think we just like the current system, we should give some priority to the special groups such as disabled people and students, and give some. As you can see in the in our auction procedure, in step 2, we will sort the travelers arriving at this time slot according to their unit bidding price, and if we consider the fairness issue, we should give priority to these special groups. That is what we plan to do in the next stage.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, dear Professor Blemer.
Maybe I can quickly ask maybe a follow-up question. So you don't have that variability of willingness to pay, but maybe I missed, but do you also have, don't you also have the occupancy in terms of how many people are inside or are sharing a ride or are inside a vehicle? Do you have that? Because then, for example, if one person is traveling versus 2 person versus 3 person, then the cost could break into multiple people. So then this could encourage lower income people to ride with higher number of people rather than, you know, solo driving or with just one another person. Did you have different occupancy rates?
Yes, I think we consider this issue here. So if you can see this table in the yes, in the bottom, just this is an example. For example, if we take a look at the taxi, there is only one rider, and if we take a look at the second mode, sharing with 2 riders, and there are 2 riders, and then 3 riders, and when we come to the public transit, there are more riders.
In terms of when they bid, does the cost break down to, for example, for those who are ride sharing with 3 rides, in a bidding system, the cost will break into 3?
Yes,
or the driver will pay?
Yes, the cost will break down because the way we calculate the cost is determined by the quantity of mobility resources that they request. And if the average speed is going to be lower, and then the price will be lower.
Yeah. So probably again, in line with what Mikkel said, what I would expect to see is if there is a heterogeneity in willingness to pay, then we may end up seeing that lower income people do ride sharing with more riders rather than less number of riders. So, you know,
yes,
naturally it will happen probably in the model. Cool, thank you, Haoning. Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Miad. I guess we may have time for a very last question. We're a bit over time already. So if anyone has the last question. All right. Okay. So thank you, Haoning, again, and have a good end of week, everyone. Looking at the elections, obviously, hoping for the best. So take care, everyone, and see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.